Hi everybody from a gorgeous evening here in Central Portugal. The heat wave has broken and the temperature is great, but the sun is very bright, so I'm just trying to hide from it in the shade. This is a video that's full of a whole bunch of different things, some social stuff. We have a party in the valley. I try a food for the first time when I head out to dinner with everybody. Sanchia has made some amazing progress down at her place, so we go down and visit her and then say goodbye, unfortunately, until the autumn. Sinead has a major development at hers, and I get on top of stuff in the garden, especially with the cucumbers, so I feel a great sense of relief that I'm finally getting caught up in the garden so that I can go full steam ahead with the crack shack in the upcoming videos. So there's a lot of stuff in this one. I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give the video a like. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you at the end of the video. It's a gorgeous day. I'm up early. It's about 7 a.m. This little guy's up early as well. It's been very noisy. What's this? Is that a tick? Let me investigate. Come here. What's this? Is it a tick? Come here. Yep, it is. These little guys have been really bad this year, and it should be falling off now as the weather gets hotter, but I keep seeing them. Luckily, I always seem to find them before they get all juicy and gross. I can usually catch them when they're small, so that's good. This guy's been adventuring in the long grasses, I guess, eh? But now it's time to get to the garden, so let's go. Looks like another beautiful day. This is the last over 30-degree day for the next little while, so the heat wave was pretty brutal, but I feel like I weathered it okay, and I'm ready to take on the summer. But right now it's time to tie up some more cucumbers. So I've done 2 already, and as you can see, the cucumber trellis, janky though it may be, it's upright. It's surprisingly sturdy actually, and I'm gonna try the method where I just attach strings and steer the cucumber up the strings. And I think I also will either get the piece of fence on top spanning the distance in case anything wants to crawl over and hang down, or I'll run some pieces of wood across that way. What's that, Larry? You're so noisy. He just wakes me up every morning lately at 5 in the morning with a chorus of very loud meows, and I gotta say I love you, but it's annoying. While we're over here, let's check out these jalapeno plants, because I don't know if I should be concerned, but they've started cranking out the jalapenos and they're still super small, and normally they'll grow quite large before they start producing. These aren't ones that I've grown from seed. These are ones that I bought at the shop. And when I bought them ages ago, they were probably about that big, so they haven't grown that much. I guess they're putting their energy into the jalapenos. So I'll probably pick these off very soon and maybe make cowboy candy, which was very popular with myself and Sinead. I might have enough for a jar, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just interesting to see and kind of unusual behavior for jalapenos. But right now, let's tie some cucumbers. Okay, so I've got some scissors, I've got some string, and really, it's just a matter of tying it onto the computer. I mean, the cucumber, it's a bit early. And then tying it up to the top. Hi, Mikey. Hello. And I also need to prune the cucumbers and also the tomatoes. Tomato pruning is a lot easier than cucumber pruning, however. The cucumbers get all crazy, like this one right here. It's pretty insane, and I don't even know which part to tie. Oh, this is 2 cucumbers, okay. So that's how confusing things are. So I'll probably need to look up on the internet how to do cucumbers again, because it's just not obvious the same way tomatoes are. And I hope I can figure it out and get good at it, because pruning the tomatoes brings me some weird sense of joy, and if I can master the cucumber as well, then that'll be good. So let's just lead the string up, kind of wrapping it around the cucumber as I go, and hopefully it'll just sort of grow around the string, using its tendrils and everything to kind of latch on and then slowly climb up. That's the theory anyways. I've never been good at knots. I want a knot that I can do sort of a quick release on so that if I do have to lengthen this thing, it'll be easy. I don't think that's the knot I just did, but that was the knot I was aiming for. Anyway, so I think I need to feed these cats. They're both down here meowing away, being very feisty, and I think it's time for their breakfast. So let's pause on the cucumbers and go give these guys some breakfast. What do you think about that? You look like you agree. So I'll see these very soon. Okay, I'm back. The cats are fed. They've been running around the garden. Actually, there he is. Hello, Mr. Michael. Belly is full. I haven't really seen them in the house at all. They've been outside in the shady spots, trying to stay cool. So the cucumber trellis is doing its job. It's a bit crooked, but the cucumbers don't care. And so I'm gonna actually come back and prune some of them. I might leave some of the bigger ones unpruned, and this one I've tried to stir 2 of the vines up, and I might actually do that with this vine as well, and just see what happens. But for most of them, I think I'm gonna keep them pruned and all in one line, and I'm gonna go grab that piece of fence in a moment and see if I can attach it on top. But first, we have an intruder. This little guy is in this pot, and for some reason I thought this was a cucamelon. I have no idea why. I did end up getting some seeds in a pack with like wildflower seeds, all kinds of different flower seeds, and in there were morning glory seeds, and this thing, my friends, is a morning glory. I thought I actually tossed all the seeds, didn't plant any, but perhaps somehow this highly invasive plant must have found it into this pot, maybe through a seed, I don't know. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to eradicate this because I've seen this thing do some serious damage. At least that's my theory. It seems like it's a morning glory. If anybody out there knows, let me know. I kind of feel like the morning glory flowers look like this, but might be a bit more purple. But it definitely has the viney invasiveness thing going on. So this has got to go. And I've got one more cucumber to tie up, and then I'll see if I can get this fence on. So I'm pretty sure this fence has been here since my dad built a safety fence around the well, and that was about 3, maybe 4 years ago. So it's kind of grown into the side of the hill, but I've liberated it and it's going to the cucumbers. that'll do for the morning. It's getting hot now and I haven't had any breakfast or coffee yet, which is a travesty. So I'm gonna give this a water, and I need to find some more zip ties to get this thing attached more securely, but obviously the cucumbers will take a while to grow up to this, so I'm in no rush, but I think I have some around. So it would be nice to finish this off. And then I'm gonna get the cucumbers pruned, the tomatoes pruned, the comfrey done, and yeah, that'll be it for the garden for a while. So it's been a nice morning of work, and now it's time for breakfast. And for breakfast, I'm definitely having strawberries. They're gorgeous, they keep producing, and they're super sweet. So, strawberries in my face, coffee in my face, and I'll see you guys soon for some more work. Okay guys, I'm back. It's getting really hot. I've had breakfast and coffee, and I've done a few other things as well, including finally chopping the comfrey. I started with the lime tree comfrey, and I ended up leaving some of it as mulch on the bottom of the tree. I put about half in the bucket and half underneath the lime tree, and it's gonna just add some nutrients in there. It's great stuff. It has a long root and it brings all the goodness up from the ground, and hopefully the tree will be happy for it. And as you can see, it's got lots of limes on here this year. Last year it didn't give me any, so this is wonderful to see. And then with the cherry tree, I just ended up chopping all of the comfrey off and putting it in the bucket, and that's just because it already has mulch there, and so I didn't need to really leave it. And I want to make lots and lots of comfrey tea because I think the tomatoes and the chilies are really going to love it. And the grapefruit tree also got lots of luscious, wonderful mulch to go in, but this one was very big, so there's still plenty to go in the bucket. And as you can see, the grapefruit tree seems to be springing back to life. I was a bit concerned about it because it had lots of ants running up and down the stem, and the leaves are going a bit weird, but it looks like we've got lots of new growth, and that excites me because I really am a big fan of this tree, and I'm curious to see what it's like to grow big grapefruits on a little tree in the garden. So I've never seen a grapefruit tree before, and this is one of my favorite ones. So I'm happy to see it's springing back to life, even though I still do see some ants on there. And then over here by Alvin the avocado, who's actually doing very, very well so far. I have another comfrey that was enormous, but I've decided to take only about 2/3 of it and leave the last third because the bees really love these flowers. They're buzzing around everywhere. One actually stung me on the back of the hand, but that's okay. We love bees, and I've had plenty of comfrey already, so I filled up 2 buckets. So I decided to leave some there for the bees. And now I have the buckets over here, which we're gonna fill with water, and it's all gonna get very stinky, and in about 5 weeks, it's gonna be an amazing fertilizer for the garden. But since it is so amazingly disgusting smelling, I've decided to stick the buckets far, far away. I've made that mistake before, and anytime anyone would come over to the garden, there was always a revolting smell lurking around. So I'll keep them over here, and hopefully it doesn't waft too far into the garden area and the living area. So basically, that's gonna sit there for a while, and once it's all gross and smelly, it'll go in the garden. So that's another job knocked off my list. And now let's get to the tomatoes. And just look at all these lovely, luscious tomatoes. And one of my favorite jobs that I really do need to keep on top of is getting rid of what I call the tomato armpits. So these little guys here come off, and if you leave them too long, they get really long. So this one here needs to come off. It's coming out of the leaf, and it's going to basically split the whole plant off. And I'd rather have the tomatoes grow up the stake. And early on in the season, it's actually quite easy to keep on top of it, but I've never really had this many tomatoes before, so I must be quite vigilant, because if you stop doing it, everything gets really bushy, and the tomatoes in here are really quite tight. So I don't want to miss any of the armpits. Some of them maybe I'll let go a little bushy just as an experiment, but for the most part, I want everything to grow tall. And as the season goes on, you start to lose interest in the garden. It's not quite as exciting as it was at the beginning. Everything's a lot of work, but for the moment, I feel like I can keep on top of things. And yeah, it just is very satisfying when you find one and you get to get rid of it. Look at that, we've got some little tomatoes on the way here. Which variety is this one? Which variety are you? Sweet honey. And I think I saw some tomatoes over here as well. On the way, where were they? Yeah, these ones here, and I think this is the, oh, this is also sweet honey. So maybe they're a fast growing variety, who knows? But there's a lot of tomatoes in my life, and I've got a lot of work getting rid of the armpits. But the rest of the work is gonna happen off camera because while I would love to just spend the day in the garden and then move to work in the crack shack, I have other things to do. My friend who owns a tour company in Africa, who I do online writing for, is expanding to Kenya. So I've got a whole bunch of online writing work to do to update their website, and that's gonna keep me busy for the next few days. I'm gonna try to get down in the mornings and the evenings to do work, but I really need to get on top of that because I have a deadline. If you're curious about the tour company, check out the website up here. But I've got lots of stuff to do today, and we're going to dinner later on as well. So today is kind of a half day, and I'll get back to things, including pruning the cucumbers as well. I'll get back to all that stuff tomorrow. So goodbye tomatoes, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye cucumbers, I'll see you guys tomorrow for a bit of a trim. And I'll catch the rest of you guys from dinner. All right, Sanch, first time trying the, what are they called?
Caracóis. Oh, that's a really meaty one. Thank you for dying for us.
Good stuff?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh my god, they're okay until I've just seen its little head.
Yeah. Oh, look at its little face.
Oh no.
So we're still with our cheese.
Again, as long as you don't look at the face, it's fine. Hello from yet another beautiful day. Dinner was fabulous. I tried those little snail things, caracóis, for the very first time. Not a massive fan, but I'm happy I tried them. And it was nice to have a lovely dinner with Lee and Sanchia before they leave tomorrow. But right now, it's all about cucumbers, and as you can see, I've been working hard at giving them a prune after a little lesson online, and I think I've mastered it. It's not really that difficult. Hi! Bit of a commotion over here. Good morning, little dude. How's it going? He's got stuff in his eyes. Sunflowers are looking amazing. And it's just generally lovely here in the garden. So I've weeded the cucumbers and I've saved one so that we can do it together. So I'm gonna get in there and give this guy a trim so he looks nice and lean and lovely like the rest of them. So I've got this handy dandy chair that my mom bought one year when she was visiting, and I've never actually used it, but it's fantastic and perfect for pruning cucumbers. So basically what I want to do is find the main stem and chop off anything that's growing out of the leaf section. So that's a little baby one. I've been taking off larger ones because I obviously neglected it for quite a while. The internet also said to take off any small fruit so that the plant can focus on growing larger. There are a couple of concerning things though. One is the way the roots are. Some of the plants seem to have a split down here at the bottom. And when I kind of investigate, it seems like maybe I didn't plant the seedlings deep enough because the roots are sort of just there. So that might be something to focus on next year, making sure I plant them deeper. And then this one is looking kind of funky up here. So I've actually left this stem down here, which seems healthy. So eventually if this one dies, I can sort of steer this one up the string instead. And yeah, I guess it's all a big experiment. But it's a fun one, and I'm really looking forward to cucumbers this year because last year I didn't have hardly any, and I was sad because the cucumbers in Portugal, they're not amazing, and I like making my own. So, there we go. It's a big branch, but it's got to go because it's not the main stem. We have another one, let's see, around here. There you go, boop. And let's see where else. I'm gonna take off. Oh, this one here. It's a little hard to see. Yeah, that's one there. So that's gotta go. And then some of the leaves close to the bottom I'll take off as well, anything that's touching the ground. And I'll knock off any of the small fruit so that the plant has a chance to grow bigger. So we've also got sort of some crusty leaves there. And I think I'll take this leaf off as well because it looks like it's kind of dying. So now we have a plant that's growing up on a single stem, and it looks a lot better, and hopefully it's a lot happier. So even though I love growing and especially pickling cucumbers, my efforts last year were really quite pitiful. I didn't give them much attention, and I didn't prune them, and I didn't get many cucumbers as a result. So this year I'm being very careful with them, giving them a lot of love, and I'm also going to continuously sow them. So I planted some other cucumber seeds about 2 weeks ago, and they're ready to be repotted. So I've got some soil ready to go. I don't have that much of it, but I'll see what I can get done. I've got some pots, and I have a couple of different varieties of cucumbers. I've got the pickling cucumbers, which are Beth Alpha or Bait Alpha, I think they're also known as. And then I've got Los Angeles cucumbers, which are basically an English cucumber, which I've never grown before. So I'm curious to see how that goes. I've also got some little baby basils, which aren't yet ready for repotting. And I'm also growing some kale. So, well, in amongst the tomatoes. Got some little kales there. So the garden is very full, but I'm hoping that once the dill dies out, there might be some space for some more pickling cucumbers. And then I have a whole other bed with nothing in it yet, so that could end up being the English cucumbers and the kale and whatever else I have left over. And as you can see, I still have quite a few tomatoes left and loads of chilies, but I've gone absolutely crazy with the tomatoes and chilies, so I actually have some friends hopefully coming today to pick some of these up. And that'll be nice. It's always nice to distribute what you've grown and what you can't use, so it'll be good to see those thriving in someone else's garden. And since I'm very keen to get on with working on these rafters for the crack shack, we're gonna repot the fast way. Okay, job done. Repotting always takes way longer than I expect. I still have these little seedlings. I can never bear to let go of them, but I'm gonna see if any friends want them. I've repotted all the kale. I've done the basil, even though they're ridiculously tiny, but might as well do it while I'm working on this. The cucumbers are in 2 different varieties, as I mentioned, and these are all waiting for friends to come over today to collect them. So polytunnel stuff is finally winding down, even though I'm probably going to do one more round of cucumber seed sowing, just to keep them going long into the summer season. And now it's time to switch focus to working on the rafters for the crack shack. And this is a very exciting job for me. I've never done rafters before. I've never worked on a roof, but I'm really looking forward to it. But first, let's travel back to last week where I had a whole bunch of tidying up to do in front of the crack shack in preparation for hosting a bunch of friends. My place was a total disaster. I had tools and building materials all over the place. Everything was weedy and it was just really messy. And I wanted to get the place party ready for the first annual Village to Valley cocktail crawl, where a whole bunch of us started up at Kimbo's new house, and we had a cocktail there, then traveled down to my place for another cocktail, on to Sinead's, and then down to Sanchia's, cocktails the whole way, and it was just a lot of fun, and a really nice way to introduce people to Kimbo's new house, check out our places and all the progress we've made, and just have a lot of fun with some friends that maybe haven't visited the valley for a little while. So it was a fabulous night. I didn't do very much filming because I was just enjoying myself. And it's definitely going to become something that we do yearly when Sanchia visits, because it was just a whole lot of fun, and I'm already looking forward to next year. So the party was last weekend, and I still haven't fully cleaned up yet. I've got some trash to throw away, some stuff to tidy, some random bottles, tables to move, other stuff to pick up. I still actually have a whole bunch of beers floating around in the swimming pool because it made an excellent place to have a fridge. And I want to get tidied, get everything sorted so that I can get the rafters off the scaffolding out here and prepare to do work on the rafters. And as with the pots, let's do this with the snap. Okay, so I've tidied up a whole bunch of stuff, but I haven't yet moved the rafters However, we did move some OSB up to my place thanks to the help of Carl, who's come for some chilies.
Yoo-hoo!
So thanks very much.
Sanchia.
That seems like a fair exchange. Chilies, I got some jam, we got some help lifting stuff. And yeah, it's been great. So we're gonna enjoy beer, Sanchia, and I'll be back to work in a little bit on the rafters. Hello again from the wind-swept OSB. I had grand plans of making a sort of template for the rafters, but I didn't get around to it. Carl stuck around for a little while and we had some really nice chats and it was lovely. And I'm always looking for an excuse to stop work and just have a natter. So up there maybe you can see that piece needs to be screwed in still. And Sinead has the drill and I can't really mark out the rafters until I get that in place securely and also until I know what I'm doing with the tiles. Because the length of the rafters is going to be determined by the tiles that I choose, and I haven't been to the tile store yet. It's going to be on my list for one of the first things that I do next week, but I definitely won't get to it by this weekend. So I'm going to focus on sanding, and then I'm going to head down to Lee and Sanchia to see what they've been up to at Sanchia's place, because I think the progress has been pretty good. I've seen some photos and I want to get down there and share that with you guys. But I've shown loads and loads of sanding. The only difference this time around is that Sinead and I have had this beast of a sander repaired finally, and I actually haven't used it yet, so I'm hoping it works as it should. It's a lot better and faster than the orbital sander, and I have all these rafters to get through. I'm just going to do the 40 grits, get rid of all the splintery parts, and yeah, it's just sanding as usual basically, except, fingers crossed, this works as expected. Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, that seems like it's working really, really well, and that's a relief because I have loads of sanding to do. So I'm just gonna get on with the sanding and I'll see you guys again when I'm ready to head down to see Lee and Sanchia. Just look at how beautiful it is out here. The weather is cooler, Tracy's looking luscious, and Larry has found a lovely little spot to sleep on this kind of manky old cushion, but I think he's loving it. He certainly is. So I'm gonna take a walk down to Sanchia's and check out what they've been up to. I'm pretty sure they've finished their cabin and they're leaving very early tomorrow morning, so basically tonight. And I want to go down there and show their progress because what they've done in a couple weeks has been really incredible. Okay, I'm down at the cabin, but I just gotta say, they've got these lawn chairs set out and the view from here is lovely. The sun goes down over their gardenias and we get regular photos from down here from these guys just sitting and enjoying the amazing view. And it's just lovely light at this time. It's about 7 o'clock and the temperature has fallen a bit, but it's definitely very welcome. So, hello guys.
Hello.
Look at this structure. How about that? Wow. It's amazing.
Isn't she a beaut?
She is. Wow, that is incredibly impressive how much you guys got done in, I guess, a couple weeks, but not really working on it the whole time.
Yeah, we've been here 2 weeks, but there's been a few days where we've had a couple of days off.
Been some celebrations. There's been some hangovers.
I wasn't going to say that on camera. You know, there's been some party days.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Some down days.
Some shenanigans were had, but yeah, it looks amazing. So tell me, walk me through.
We started with the cladding, but then it was so faffy, like really finicky, a pain in the arse. So then we plied it and protected it.
To be cladded in the future?
Yeah, we're going to faux clad.
Okay, faux clad. Faux clad.
But then we protected it. So we've cladded on the front and the side, as you've seen. We've started cladding here on top of the ply. So we started it here, but we just run out of time and patience. And then we've just done this today.
This is fabulous. This is an IBC under here, covered for the algae, and I gotta say, like, guttering is not an easy thing to put up. At least not for me, and it looks like you've nailed it.
Not when you're rushing.
No, it looks great. It looks sturdy. We've got an angle on it, which I don't know if I have that on mine. So well done there.
And then let me show you inside.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't tell you how chuffed I am with
Yeah.
this toilet. Just pour that in there.
Ooh.
So we've got the composting toilet that we have in the shed. So we are going to build a better one, but at least we've got a toilet.
Nice.
I've not got a shelf up for my fake plants.
The fake plants are always a common feature in any Sanchia structure.
And then we've got a bit of light, strip light in here. That's really good, you know, and it was only really cheap.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to show.
That's fabulous. Just charged by USB?
Yeah.
Great. And the roof is just letting us so much light. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it's polycarbonate, so it is UV protected, but it does get really hot. So we are, like you'd said as well, I'm going to have to think about what I'll leave in here because it gets boiling. And then the shower.
Ooh.
So we have got the waste pipe going out of the bottom, but we've still just got a bucket shower. So that's what we're going to, for next time, have some sort of shower system. Because it's okay, but it's just not ideal turning that little thing on and off to try and save as much water.
That's the trick. Got a nice little curtain rod here.
Little shower curtain.
Lovely. Oh, safari. I've actually been writing all day about Kenya safari.
Oh, I see. Very apt.
Yes, so this is nice to see. Amazing.
But I am, honestly, we're so chuffed with it.
Well done.
She's amazing. Lee's done awesome work, haven't you?
Well done, Lee.
High five.
Okay.
Well done, Sanch. So it's been a good trip overall? You've had a good time?
It's been, do you know what though? It has been hot as anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been so brutal.
You got the 2 weeks of a heat wave that's very unusual for May, but it's cool now and it's gonna stay cool.
So today we're just like brilliant. Now it's like nice today.
Yeah.
So that was really tough because working in like 35-degree heat when you're not used to it wasn't
Even when you are used
pleasant.
to it, it's really not nice.
No.
So you've done really amazingly. I love it. I might just come down here occasionally and have a shower. Hope you don't mind.
You shower as much as you want down here.
It's great. And then the cabin, there's lots of big plans in the future for the cabin. But
Yeah,
that's
so
for
we
another
wanna-
trip. And you'll be back in...
October.
Yay. Okay, cool. So, good trip.
Yeah.
Lots accomplished.
Very productive trip. Lots of fun. Lots of shenanigans, but lots of hard work. It's been fab.
Yeah,
I've loved
great mix
it.
of stuff. All right, cool. Well, we'll see you in October.
Yep.
And thanks for the tour.
Anytime. Thanks for
And,
coming.
yeah. Farewell. Safe travels.
Farewell, my friend. Farewell, my
See you
friend.
Farewell. So while I'm snooping around my friends' places, I figured I would stop over at Sinead's. You've already had a walkthrough of the house in my last video, so I'm gonna leave that for the moment and focus over here on something that I think is absolutely amazing. The guys who did the house have been working on this thing, and they've been working on it, I think, for 2 days. That's all it's taken, and to me that is absolutely incredible, because working with stone, well, at least for me, who's definitely no expert, is really, really tricky. And yeah, it's just an example of like watching craftspeople do their thing, and I'm absolutely blown away by this. Sinead has grand plans for having a deck here and a hangout space. The house is just up there, and having a little shallow pool to cool off in. And it's gonna be amazing. And this part is gonna have a little waterfall apparently. So in theory, the level of the water inside this water mine will fill up to this point. But there's also overflows and underflows. And then there's this thing, which is a little water source from who knows where. I find the water features and how it all works in Portugal just completely fascinating. And something with pipes is going to do something with lakes. And let's actually go over and have a little look at her lake, because it has filled up after being empty for a little while. It's not as full as it's eventually going to be, but it's fuller than it was. It actually emptied out because there's this thing called an uvenal which takes the water away. So I don't know if that's blocked now or what. It's all a big mystery, but you can see the vision. The plants have grown on the banks. It's looking lush and wonderful. And eventually this will be, I don't know, maybe another swimming area along with that pool, which is going to be more of a little hangout spot. So It's beautiful. Things are coming along, and I think it's absolutely incredible the work that they've done, not only on the water source thing that's happening, but also up on the house. And the next phase is going to be for the walls to arrive, which are going to be made of straw panels, basically straw stuffed into a wooden frame, and that's going to go over on the side part there where the foundation is, and it's also going to go on the top, and it's just going to be fabulous. So Sinead's place is going to be a thing of beauty. I think her next step is going to be to consolidate the walls by putting lime in the cracks and the holes and then pointing it as well. And I'm just so excited to see how this thing develops, and I'm obviously going to keep you guys updated along the way as well. So this has been a pretty busy video with a wide variety of things, and it's been fun having Sanchia and Lee here, and there's just been a lot going on. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.